Can you think of a time where you put on an outfit for the first time and you just thought, "This is me. This is my look."
Yeah, I would honestly say as any suit. Like, I remember I remember growing up, I never wore suits, I never explored suits. I was always a guy that honestly, when I was in high school, would wear sweatpants, I would wear shorts, I would wear and just nothing that I wear now. And when I got into Instagram, I started following a lot of people, kind of like exploring my own fashion, I guess I would say, like exploring my own style and just trying things on, like, and what makes trying things on, it's trial and error, I feel like, you know? And when I finally got into like suit supply, I would say that was like my first time I put something on and I was like, holy shit, like this looks really good. Like, you know, so I would definitely say suit supply was like my first experience back in like 2018, I think it was. I remember it was like some sort of suit with a blue overcoat and it just the whole look was just so on point, and I was like, "Man, I really need to, like, get into suits." That just feels it just like, when you look good, you feel good, that's, like, the cliche saying, and honestly, it's so true, so,
What were you doing at the time? Could you justify you wearing a suit every single day?
I could, honestly, I love my comfortable clothes, like, right now, I'm wearing like, your dad jeans, like, light blue denim, a belt, tucked in sweater. I love that kind of vibe. I love feeling like I'm at the point in my life where I like kind of want to dress like a dad. So, I don't know if I could do a suit every day though. You know, I like doing suits and I like wearing them to special occasions. Like my wife and I will go out to dinner. I'll wear something really nice. I'll dress up, wear a suit, maybe not a tie. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I could do it every day though.
Okay, if somebody wanted to emulate your style, what would you expect them to be wearing on a daily basis then?
Um, Day to day, I like I just mentioned, like what I wear right now, I wear these jeans like this sounds it might sound a little gross. I wear these jeans like every fucking day. Like I love the mid blue dad jeans, high rise. More guys need to get into high rise pants, by the way. That's like one thing. If you haven't tried a pair of high rise denim, a high rise pair of trousers, like go for it. That's where it should be. It should be like right over your hips. Um, so good, but they just like
In
look good. They
relation
make you
to the
look a
belly
little
button,
taller too.
it always confuses me, the belly button. Okay, where are your pants right now sitting as it relates to your belly
Right
button?
over my hips and right below my belly button.
Mhm. I like to go over the belly button. Anything below it just kinda feels weird for me. Is that wrong?
Dude, you gotta do, like, what feels good, you know? That's
Yeah.
like
To me, the higher the
that's what
better.
I that's what I tell everyone. I'm like, whatever you put on and you just, like, like, you look at yourself and you're like, this feels good and looks good to you," like, that's the
Mhm.
sweet spot.
Yeah. I like bro sciencing my way into the objective reasons why things look good too, and I'm sure you've dug into this yourself of the golden ratios, and the higher you lift your pants, you're getting closer to those two-thirds proportions. Do you think about when you're creating an outfit at all any kind of math? Is there a formula to any of this?
No, honestly, it's based on how I feel, and I'm not gonna lie, when have you ever thrown on an outfit and you look down and you're like, "I'm not feeling this." Like, you don't even have to look in a mirror, you just look down at it and you're, just like, "This doesn't feel right,"
Yeah,
and I'll
sadly
change.
too often.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my
Yeah.
lady is at the door and she's ready for date night, and I'm in between 6 different cardigans that I can't just get to work.
Yeah, I feel it like I said, it's like trial and error.
Mhm. So, you arrived, you put on a suit, it felt good. Did that stop the experimentation for you, or did you continue
Um,
to try different things?
that's a good question. Never thought about it, but honestly, dress now, I would say I don't experiment too much now just because I know what I like, and, like, for instance, when you get into suiting and you get into the sprezzo artois that a lot of people call it, uh, a lot of it's expensive. Of course, you can go try it on in stores and everything like that, but it's just not the same. You're not in your environment. You're not. You're not able to like wear these clothes outside the store. Um, it's hard to experiment when you dig into like more expensive clothing, right? So I haven't really, I just buy what I like and I kind of stick to it. Um, the most experimentation I've done recently is just like accessorizing a little more, adding a little more patterns, adding more texture, whether it's like a cable knit sweater or a plaid scarf, um, anything like that, just to make the outfit a little more interesting. So,
Mhm. Is there a way that guys can experiment without dropping 3K on a suit?
yeah, you could definitely. You know what? Someone actually mentioned this to me the other day. They said, I shop on eBay and I find a lot of good Ralph Lauren Purple Label on there for cheap.
What is Purple Label?
And Purple Label is Ralph Lauren's like top, like highest line possible, made in Italy. So for instance, like this is ridiculous, but their coats run for like $7,000 to $10,000. It's crazy just for a coat. So like Loro Piana, right? Like that's one of the cream of the crop fabrics brands. Um, but I would definitely go on, like, these secondhand stores or go to, like, Goodwill. I found some, like, Brooks Brothers in there, and just get it tailored, you know? Like, you can easily experiment that way too.
Do you think that you are just a suit man in a sweatpant boy body this entire time and it unlocked what was already there? Or is there a trial by fire component to this? As we experiment with style, we become this thing.
Yeah, I would say the second thing, like, it's definitely, like, trial and error. Um, dude, I remember the first time I wore no-show socks, and I wore it in high school, and it was when I started Instagram because I saw, like, guys wearing these no-show socks with white sneakers, and I decided to wear them. I kid you not, when I got to school, everybody looked me up and down. I got called gay a few times. Like, dude, it's just like it's all trial and error. And like honestly, I felt good. I'm very good at like blocking out the noise. Um, I'm very good at that. I've always been good at that. So I feel like when you're experimenting and trying to find your own style, you have to focus on like your inner thoughts of being like, okay, do I like this or do I hate this? And block out everyone else's opinion. Especially in today's day and age with social media, when you throw an outfit out there that you're experimenting with and people are like, dude, this outfit's shit. If you feel good in it, like, dude, run with it, you know, and just wear it.
In middle school, I wanted to be a professional golfer. I idolized Tiger Woods. I would show up
Yeah.
to my public school of 3,000 kids wearing polo shorts and a polo button down tucked in. And boy, did I get made fun of, but I didn't care. And it
Hmm.
thickened my skin a lot. I've always attributed that to stubbornness, though.
Hmm.
We are social creatures. If you are being laughed at for your no show socks, how can you reconcile that with the intuition that you're doing the right thing if you're still getting criticism from people who just haven't caught up yet?
Yes,
In
exactly.
does that make sense? The question there is, what's the difference between like your inborn talent or confidence in the look versus I want to look good in front of other people, and if other people are saying I look like shit, how do I trust my intuition?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just something I personally, this is just like the way I think. I think more so like there actually a very good question. I think it's all about like because I'm thinking about like social media in today's day and age. Like there are some people that yeah, they'll throw something on and in my opinion, this is just my opinion, like maybe it doesn't look good and they could do better, but they may think that they look good themselves. I see what you're saying now. It's like how do you trust how do you trust that you actually look good? Like, do you actually look good or are you just running off of like in your head like this feels good so like you know what I mean? I think I get what you're saying. So that's a tricky
I
question.
this plagues my existence in every single domain, and fashion is just a fun analogy for the rest of the way that this translates to life.
Mhm.
The delusion that creates confidence, and then the confidence spirals into creating a new trend. If you rock something with a level of confidence, even if everybody thinks it's dog shit, on a long enough timeline, you're the person who started a new fad. So, what is the sweet spot of you being comfortable with the discomfort and you being a pariah for a short period of time? So long as you maintain that confidence, that swag,
Yep.
you're an
Yep.
icon on
Yeah, you
in
just
the
gotta
history
rock
books.
with it. Yeah. You
If
just gotta
somebody
rock with
if
it.
somebody okay. Yeah, easier said than done though. Just kind of like keep your head down for 10 years and then everybody's like, "Man, he was onto something with those dad jeans."
Dude, the dad jeans still get made fun of, but I fucking love it. And that's the thing, right? Is fashion's all about it comes and goes and it comes and goes and it's just a pendulum just swinging. That's all it is, you know?
If you wanna know what's gonna be popular in the future, it seems like you can look at the most stubborn people. That's most stubborn demographic has to be like the Midwestern white dad. He never changes his style. He's rocking the New Balances, and what's popular, what's evergreen these days? It's the New Balances and the baggy straight leg jeans.
Yep. And that's the thing is like back then in the 90s and early 2000s, like that's what it was, you know? That's like what and it's a pendulum. It's swinging back now. And that's just what I mean, that's even with social media, right? It's like or our world that we live in.
Yeah, and then there's a really weird part of the fashion world, which sometimes either my algorithm will point me to, it'll say like, "Oh, you're a fashion boy. You like this kind of stuff. So let me gonna show you some more fringe stuff on the margins."
Mhm.
There's like the kind of just classy gentlemen, people who I gravitate towards like yourself, where it just kind of very timeless looks and it seems rich, a grown up, the kind of man that I want to dress like. There's also the fashion scene though, that it's either Met Gala type stuff of people being avant garde for almost a gimmicky kind of reason.
Mhm.
And it seems like they're the ones who are trying to push the culture, get that pendulum to swing really fucking hard into a different direction. What do you think motivates them rather than just I, I do you think those people are really comfortable in the clothes that they're wearing?
No, I feel like I I would say no because like on social media too nowadays, everything's kind of for clicks and views. Like I do remember when I started like get ready with me videos, right? Like 5 years ago, 2021, just after COVID. I remember I would throw on outfits that personally I wasn't wearing. You know, I wouldn't wear out at night. Um, but I would wear it and it's because it would do well, right? Like it would do well on social. People really loved it. I liked it, but I wouldn't wear it on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? I would throw it on for the video, take it off, you know? But now whenever I do something, it's more so, yeah, I fucking wore this last night, you know? I like I'll throw something on, I'll wear it. So I feel like a lot of people like the Met Gala style that's just over the top. I would say it's probably like 50-50, right? Like people just throw it on because they wanna just get the views, they want the clicks, but in reality, maybe they don't ever wear it, you know?
Mhm. Can you describe the feeling when you put on that outfit that you know the gram's gonna love? It's a different look, so you know it's gonna get clicks or get likes or people to comment. What is the feeling in your brain in that moment where you know this is not a look that Hunter would will be wearing tomorrow when the camera's not on him?
I feel like it gets kind of like kinda not spiral is the word I'm looking for, but like when you do it multiple times and like I like to batch my content. So, like, I'll pick one day, do 5 videos, and then I'll post throughout the week. Um, when you do it repetitively, like that year, I think I posted every single day in the year, and it gets to the point where you kinda just get tired of it, and then I feel like you kinda just do it 'cause, like, it's working and you're getting the views, you're getting the clicks, and it doesn't feel like you, right? Like it's like you're putting on an act. And that's when I think you have to do it long enough to feel that. At first you're like, great. Like, like it feels good because you know it's going to do well. But then you get to the point where you're like, fuck, do I really want to throw on like six different outfits today? And like, I'm not actually never going to wear these. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So
yeah.
it gets boring. So
It's helpful when you're a social media influencer of some kind or you're in the spotlight, you're forced to be making some kind of concrete decisions. And most guys don't get that. I wish we could end this call giving people the advice that start an Instagram account and do the get ready with me just so you can arrive to a destination of having some sense of style that is uniquely your own. But there's a ton of terrible shit that goes along with our profession too. So, that not being the advice, how can guys experiment, eventually arrive to what they are comfortable with, and just commit to this is my thing because it makes me feel like me?
I hate to say it, but I feel like since I did those videos for so long and tried on and wore so many different outfits, it comes all back to trial and error, right? Like I don't even know how many outfits I threw on. You know what I mean? In that year. And I probably look back at a few of them and I'm like, oh, I'd fucking wear that again. So I mean, honestly, that would just be like throw on like if you want to experiment with your outfits and your wardrobe, um, what I'll typically do, like I mentioned, I don't really experiment often, but if I want to try something different, for this is just an example, white socks, white trousers during the winter. People tell you not to wear them. I think that's just stupid. I hate fashion rules. Um, so I wore this outfit to Florence: white socks, white pants, cream sweater, brown overcoat. So it kind of gives you a harsh contrast between the white and the dark brown. And then I put on dark brown loafers. Saw this outfit on Pinterest, and I've never worn white socks with the white pants and with the harsh contrast to the brown loafers. So I just tried it on before I left. I'm like, this looks fucking good. So I just took it with me and wore it when I was in Italy. It looked great. So I like going on Pinterest and I'll find something, but I have to have these pieces right in my wardrobe to actually like try it and like match it to what the model was wearing to actually like experiment to see if it actually looks and you feel good in it. So Pinterest is great, great resource for outfits.
Yeah, how much of it is the confidence that it gives you of seeing somebody else rock that look versus if you stumbled upon that outfit, you were walking around in Italy? Let's say your luggage was abandoned on the flight, and these were the only parts that you had. You wouldn't have normally put this outfit together. You put it on. Do you have the same confidence walking around had you come across this without the Pinterest image?
Probably not. I honestly probably wouldn't even worn it, you know, white pants, white with the white socks. I probably never, that was the first time I've ever like worn a combination like that, I think. So that actually that Pinterest photo really inspired me.
Yeah,
Um, so sometimes I feel like that's all we need, right? Is a little inspiration. And um, I always go to Pinterest, man. Like I feel like Pinterest is one of those apps that people forget about.
I have a love-hate relationship with Pinterest because it's so overwhelming,
Mhm.
and I don't know what direction that I wanna point it towards rather than the other social media apps. They kind of just force me to decide what I wanna
Mhm.
see.
Yeah.
Are you searching particular keywords, or is your Pinterest algorithm just tailored to sending you stuff that genuinely is inspiring to you?
It's a little bit of both. But for the main thing, I only use Pinterest. Like I know when I click on that app, I know I'm usually going to type in like keywords, you know.
Mhm. How much of taste, style do you think is inherited versus discovered on your own?
It's a good question too. Um, I would say 75%, 80% is discovered online, and then I'll try it out. But it's usually stuff, but like I mentioned, I don't experiment often with clothing. Usually, if I stumble upon something, and I stick to earth tones a lot within my wardrobe. I'm not a big, it's funny, I'm wearing navy sweater, but like I never wear navy. I'm not a big navy guy. I just don't think it looks as good on me compared to like dark brown because I my eyes are um hazel, dark brown sometimes. So and my hair is dark brown. I just think the earth tones look really good on me with my skin complexion and my features. So I'd say 80% of it I find online. And usually it's somewhat of something that I've maybe worn in the past. It's just like a different combination, right? So, like, maybe I wore the brown sweater and khaki pants in the past, but this guy was wearing khaki sweater and brown pants. Like, I know I'm probably going to like it because it's just so, like flip flopping. So, that's just an example. So basic, but
I like that of letting inspiration guide you a little bit. It seems, based on my very judgmental observation of especially young men, but older men too, that their fashion sense is based on previous versions of themselves that haven't really caught up to their current age.
hmm
It just begs the question of, if a guy is somewhat interested in shaking up his wardrobe, how does he know that he's forcing himself into the right direction versus something that he is proving to other people, that I just want to dress like this other person, fill in the blank celebrity, for instance? Is that also just trial and error?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like in the end of the day, it comes back to just like doing you and really like if you really fancy this celebrity, so called, and you love how they dress, you love their wardrobe, and you're going after you be like I'm all for timeless style because timeless style never dies. It'll never go away. I could probably wear my whole wardrobe right now, and in 10 years it'll still be around, you know? Um, but I guess back like to your question, if you're trying to achieve a celebrity or you're trying to achieve some sort of look and style and build out your whole wardrobe, like I don't know, you have to think long term because in if you don't, you're gonna waste a lot of money and like nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants to buy a whole new wardrobe over a few years, and then in 10 years, you're like, "Oh, shit, I just dropped 3K on a Gucci belt, and now I'm never gonna wear it again," you know? So, I feel like you gotta think long term and before you make that decision. Like, I everything I buy, I'm like, "Am I gonna wear this in 10 years?" You really gotta, like, think to yourself, "Am I gonna wear it in 20 years if it lasts?" That's where the quality comes into play.
Yeah.
So
And then I guess, would you say in the meantime, as you're experimenting, it can be daunting to think, man, I just wear basketball shorts and trainers every single day. I'm so overwhelmed. I would be really scared to give your advice to somebody who's just trying to do anything outside of the box because they have no idea what they're going to be doing in
mhm,
10 years. What do you say to that guy who is so early on in his journey?
buy basics. You know, but keep it basic, like my jeans, for instance. Like, yeah, they're it's a basic jean, but it's I'm not gonna say trendy because, like, these, like, fucking dads were wearing these jeans years ago, and they were, like, the straight leg, high-rise denim. They're always gonna be around, so I'd stick to basics, you know? Like, if you don't know what you're doing in 10 years, don't go out and buy, like, a fancy suit, you know? You don't know what if you're ever gonna wear it in years, you don't know what job you're gonna be at. So I would definitely stick to your basic, like go buy a white Oxford shirt. You can wear that every day, you know? Like it doesn't matter what profession you're in or anything like that, but it's timeless and it'll look good and you'll probably have it for years to come, you know? It works. Stick to things that will last and stick to things that are timeless. That's why I always push. I always push. I remember I had a guide that I sold a few years ago. It was like how to build a timeless wardrobe from scratch. And I put that out because I feel like nobody teaches that. Nobody teaches you when you're experimenting and you're wanting to find your own style. Nobody teaches you like how can you build a wardrobe that's going to last, like how am I going to wear this? Am I going to wear this in 10 years? And I feel like that's your biggest question when you're buying a piece of clothing. And that, like, back to your question too, like, well, I don't know what job I'm going to be in. I don't know where I'm going to be living. That's a completely different thing, right? Like, just imagine if someone moved from PA where I live and then they move out to Texas, like, completely different wardrobe. So I get guys all the time that are like, fuck, I want that coat, but I'm never going to be able to wear it. So
What if a guy just wants to stand out? His fear hearing just get the basics. Well, I don't want to look basic and I don't want to look like everybody else. What does he do?
I've never put myself in those shoes of someone. I've never really I never really wanted to like stand out with my clothing, you know? I just wanted to feel good. I wanted to look good and I wanted to look good, feel good. So I've never really wanted to like just stand out. If you want to stand out, I would still stick to basic colors, neutrals. Keep it simple. Don't go buy like a purple overcoat or a purple suit or a, you know, don't be loud with it. You can still stand out in neutral tones. Like I just wore this one coat um in Florence. It was a camel hair coat or alpaca hair. Anyway, some sort of fur coat. Wasn't too aggressive in terms of the fur on it. It was just very subtle, but it was more of an orange color. But it wasn't loud, you know. It was still like it was you would look at it and you'd be like, that's a nice coat. Like it reminds me of a camel coat. Like everybody has a camel coat. That's just like a staple. So if you wanted to stand out, wear stuff that like it's still toned down enough, but there's something interesting about it, right? That my coat had a little bit of texture to it, which I thought made it a little more interesting. Also, it was a long coat, so it went below my knees, which a lot of got like those coats are so nice. They stand out more too. Um, so keep it neutral, but also like think about something that like it, whether it's the pattern, the color, or the texture of it. Think about something that makes it a little more interesting than your typical staple camel coat, you know?
You mentioned that you're anti wearing white pants after Labor Day. You're against that. That is a rule in general. Are there any fashion rules that you think men should adhere to?
Hmm. Now, I don't know all the fashion rules in this world, but a new one that I came across was no, this is anti too. I wouldn't go with it. um,
You're a rule breaker,
I
aren't
don't
you,
know.
Hunter?
Dude, I hate fashion rules. I'm not a big like. I'll tell you what it is. It was you never wear a watch with a tuxedo, which I think is just really dumb. Because like if you wear a nice cocktail watch, like a nice thin profile cocktail watch, it was an Omega, like a tank style watch, very very thin, black leather band, and it fits really nicely right underneath the sleeve. Like I think it looks great. It's elegant and honestly, I feel naked when I don't wear a watch. So, I just hate that rule too. So,
A lot of men see higher fashion as just enshrined in rules. There is a fear to even put on a suit jacket lest they be ridiculed by the high fashion gods themselves. I'm one so heartened to be speaking to you, somebody I would put into like the higher tier level of fashion with the sorts of outfits you put together, that you're not such a rule follower. But it seems like that's your tribe. That's the tribe of high fashion. It is, we are a very tight community. And if you don't follow our rules, you are not a part of our community anymore. Did you have that confidence when you were just entering this scene 10 years ago?
um, I'd say 10 years ago when I started, I don't know, I feel like that comes back around to your mindset, right? Like, and owning it, and because I've just had a very I'm very good at, like I mentioned, I'm very good at blocking out the noise, and I feel like that helped me out a lot when I first started out. Dude, I'll look back at my outfits now and I'm like, "That was fucking garbage." Like, what was I wearing? I even some of my photos, I'm just like, I was wearing, like, a camouflage hoodie with, like, some short dude, I would never wear that now. I would never wear a camouflage hoodie with, like, I was wearing, like, khaki shorts and, like, white sneakers. Like, I would never wear that now. So, I don't know, I just, like, I was very good at blocking out the noise and not really caring, and I feel like along that way, I got to this point, right? And I feel like that helped me get to this point because I was able to focus on, like, my own feelings along the way, which I feel like a lot of guys don't do. Like, most guys don't really like to sit and, like, feel, right? Like, they don't like to, like, talk about their feelings. They don't like to acknowledge how they're feeling. So, I feel like that comes back to fashion too, you know?
I love this Venn diagram overlap of fashion and emotional intelligence, just finding your style through developing a vocabulary for how you feel. And I I I asked this question and you gave me a good answer, but I want to know what this feeling is. Speaking from a just straight up autistic boy who has zero sense of how he feels in any given moment, just childhood trauma. We won't get to that. That's another podcast between you and I. But a lot of the emotions that I've felt, I've learned to stuff down into the barrels. So I love the idea of being able to put on an outfit and sit there with my thoughts and not spiral as I look at myself in the mirror and my ladies in the other room trying to go to date night and be like, I feel X, I feel Y. But you're somewhat an emotionally healthy young man yourself. So I want to learn from you. What is the emotion that you feel like when you're just, hell yeah, I love this outfit. I like this feeling.
For instance, like, I'm getting ready for a date night, like, basically, like, I'll I'll run you through trying to think of a recent time where I put something on and I was just like, "This kinda fucking sucks." So I'll just, like, change it, you know? Um,
Run me through that.
I'm trying to think of a time the last time I threw something on that I was like, "I don't know about this," 'cause I stick to what I like. I like, if it makes me feel good, like, I've worn this outfit before. I've actually photographed this outfit when I was in Italy. So I know, I'm like, 1, it looks good in photos, and 2, I like how I feel in it. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable. Um, but I don't remember the last time I threw something on, I'm like, "I don't know about this." Actually, no, just thought of it. Bow tie. When I was in Italy, I threw on a burgundy bow tie with my tuxedo, and it was a clip-on, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, "Do I really wanna wear a clip-on?" 'Cause I was like, Like, we opt for things because it's easy, right? Like, the clip-on's easy, and then I was like, "No, I'm gonna fucking tie a bow tie." I I never liked tying bow ties because I was never really good at it. I looked up a YouTube video, tied it in 2 seconds. It's actually super easy. Um, but I was just trying to put this burgundy one on too, I was like, "Burgundy, like, pops. I don't really like it. It's not normal." And I was wearing a off-white tuxedo jacket and a white shirt, so the burgundy was kinda loud. So, I was just, like, feeling like I was just, like, feeling like this isn't right. It's not normal for me to wear this because 'cause I've never done it, and if I'm feeling like that, I'll take it off, and I'll just swap it for what I know feels good for me, and I know the black looks good, but I didn't wanna wear the black because I had to tie it, right? But I just told myself, like, "The black's gonna look good. I just need to just do it." So, I'm very much so in the mindset of, like, just even this is an example with my mindset of, like, when I'm taking photos and I'm in a location and I take the photo and I'm like, "This just isn't what I'm wanting." Like, I've taken fucking, like, a million photos, so I know what I like in a photo, and if I take one set and I'm like, "Nope, this isn't it," I'll be like, "Fuck it, scrap it, move on to another location." It's not worth sitting there and, like, battling something that's not gonna work for yourself. So, like, even with clothing, I'm not gonna sit there and battle the burgundy bow tie and make it work in my mind. I might as well just throw on the black one because I know that's gonna work for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's just like an example for that.
I'm going to dissect what you just said and you tell me if this is a fair interpretation or not, because it sounds like there is a really big component to what you intuitively gravitate towards based on the ownership you feel over it. Kind of reminds me of we're modern men, but we come from an ancestry of dudes who looked similar to us, but they carried spears around and they hunted for their food. I imagine there was a great level of satisfaction of those cave men and women sitting around the fire, eating food that they had just hunted, an animal that they just slaughtered, probably chased across the Serengeti for days.
Mhm,
They earned that. They didn't just clip on a bow tie. They
mhm.
they watched a YouTube tutorial and learned how to tie it themselves. So do you think there is like a level of I earned this? I earned the right to wear this article of clothing because I educated myself. You probably learned a little bit about the history because I know those YouTube videos, they're never just like exactly how you do it. There's always a little intro of, well, the bow tie was invented in 1805 when
Yeah.
you feel a little bit more of a connection. How much of that do you think is like at least a level of certainty that I like how I look right now based on the context that got you there?
I feel like as I've gotten older, I've started to feel like that, right? Like you just mentioned, the whole, like, you got to learn a little bit about it. You feel like you're a little empowered that you learn these things along the way of just getting like, it wasn't just the bow tie, like, situation. It was like I learned how to tie it. It was actually easier than I thought, and now I'm like, I know how to tie that bow tie instead of just, yeah, taking the easy route out, and, like, most guys love the easy route, right? It's easy. It's comfortable, but, like, for me, I'm okay with being uncomfortable, and I do think it is true that guys should feel uncomfortable in their lives and, like, do what makes them feel uncomfortable because that's what's holding, I feel like, the majority of us back. And a lot of guys don't want to wear a suit. They don't wanna they don't wanna tie that bow tie because they're uncomfortable with it, so they take the easy route out. Um, and I feel like my wife is getting her PhD in clinical psychology, so, um, she's very good. When we met, I feel like my emotional intelligence has also, like, improved a lot since being with her, um, with being uncomfortable and talking about things more, and honestly, I feel like I've bettered myself since then. You know what I mean? You just think about things more and, like, you do the uncomfortable thing.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
feel like I do that more now. I don't like, if I'm like, "That's uncomfortable." Okay, let's work through it because it's gonna take a little longer to get over being uncomfortable, but, like, in the end of it all, you're like, "I did it. Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
And that's where
suffered
you
the
kinda
5-minute bow tie YouTube tutorial, and
Yeah,
now I look
exactly.
like a champion.
Exactly, and now you know how to tie the fucking bow tie. So, like,
Yeah.
it's good to feel uncomfortable and, like, get over that hurdle. Because in reality, like you said, we're in the modern age where it's like, it's a bow tie. You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's not like it's gonna ruin your life over and over again, like, but now you just learned a new skill set, so
It feels like life or death in the moment, though. If you don't have the context to wartime, we live in a beautiful time, but it doesn't matter. If we are modern men, and I am only as good as my biology has set me up for, and we are comfort-seeking animals.
Mhm.
You're preaching to the choir here about challenging myself, because at this age that I'm at, I generally know that on the other side of my discomfort lies satisfaction. But a lot of that comes from just like my own masochism. Do you think that that's a rule for yourself, though? That have you found the more that you challenge yourself, the quicker you are to grow?
I would say yes, 100%, because, like, think about, we both like going to the gym, right? And people don't like going to the gym because it's very uncomfortable. Like, no matter your experience, I guess I would say, of going to the gym. And when we go because we wanna better ourselves, some people don't go because they don't it's uncomfortable, they don't wanna do it. But you and I love it. And we go and we get a huge reward out of it over the time, like, over a month, 2 months, 3 months, and it's difficult, but we love it, and it's uncomfortable, but there's a huge reward after it. So I would say, like, 100% that's true, you know? You get there quicker when you just do it. Yep.
What's your first move? I hate painting false dichotomies. He should go to the gym. He should elevate his fashion style. What takes precedence for you, though, Hunter? You're giving this advice to this young man who clearly could be doing better with his life, and we're not forcing him either. He wants to do better, and he's asking you for advice. What's the move there?
Nutrition. Straight up nutrition, like, fuck the gym. Um, if you wanna go to the gym and in your head, because I've I feel like I have a lot to say on this, just because my wife also ran a lot of, weight loss studies for her position. So, a lot of people say this guy wants to better himself, he wants to lose weight, and he wants to look good in clothes. Well, your first step is, like, what are you eating? You know, like, what, because we gotta figure that out. You don't need to show up to the gym. Like, the gym isn't gonna help you lose weight, it's the nutrition that's gonna help you lose weight. The exercise is just, like, trying to think of the exercise is just there to help over the long term, like, you're, like, getting your 10,000 steps in. It's just good for you. But it's not gonna you're not gonna get a six pack by going to the gym and eating double stuffed Oreos on the couch every night and eating 5,000 calories a day. So I would stick to the nutrition and figure that out first, and then worry about the gym later, because that's where it all stems from, is just eating habits.
There's a bunch of accounts like this online. I'm sure you've seen them, but there's one gentleman who seems to have kind of planted his flag with this being his MO for his social media. He has this series of, uh, is it stylish or are they just skinny? And he makes a really good point. The thesis to all these videos is like, it kind of
I know
turns
who you're
out that
talking about.
awesome dude. And he's overweight himself. So he's kind of parroting these styles and putting them on. He always looks good. Bless his heart. Like we've actually had interactions online. He's such a solid dude. But like the skinnier dude always looks better no matter what the outfit is.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I would say yes, but I have seen, like, do you know, I won't name names, but there is one guy that does a very good job at owning his figure, and he put an outfit together from the, Ralph Lauren show the other day. He was like, "I'm gonna try it out as a bigger guy," and I was like, "Fuck yeah." So he tried it on, it actually looked pretty good. Like, he did a very good job and it looked great. But that comes down to styling, right? He got it from the Ralph Lauren show, like, of course, they fucking know what they're doing. Uh, and but I do agree with you, like, I get those comments all the time on my video, like, "Of course it looks good, he's just fucking skinny, of course he looks good because he's built well." Well, I mean, I work fucking hard day in and day out to, like, maintain that, you know? So, I should feel like that. I should feel like this, like, reward, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I well, I love that you push back a little bit on that because as it came out of my mouth, it's not something that I necessarily agree with. But I think bigger guys are th- fighting, swimming upstream when it comes to trying to look their best. And it's not a low hanging fruit because, man, you and I know both. It is hard to eat well and to develop the habits in place to sustain that lifestyle in the gym and outside of the gym. But there's nothing better than like going to try on new clothes and you're in the dressing room and like everything fits. And you get the
Mhm,
sense that when you were in Italy, for instance, I'm sure you were trying on new clothes. And regardless of what region of the world you're in, they have a size for you. I was a chubby kid though growing up and I had to shop husky. There's nothing more demoralizing than like being led as you walk into the like Tilly's or wherever I was shopping for clothes with my mom
mhm.
to the, like, the corner section where all the big boys are supposed to be shopping. So I'm down with the advice of, like, if you're tired of having to be so different, it's not a bad place to start that your fashion could use work, but also it is so much more heartening to be in the proper body composition because the world is so much easier that way.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the sad thing, right? Like, the sad truth is, I don't know where I read it, but I mean, most Americans are, what is it? Like, I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 80% are over their healthy BMI rate in the United States, something like that. And it's hard for those people to like wear like clothing because it's so limited. You got to go the custom route at that point. But like, who wants to spend? Like, what if you want to go on this like weight loss journey and also want to dress better? You're not going to go spend a lot of money on clothes. Like, you might as well just focus on losing weight at that point and
I
then focus on the fashion.
something that I would love your wife over your shoulder to actually be fact checking us and us just like bros talking out of our asses, armchair psychologists. But
I
I'm
might have
going to do
gotten
it because
that.
my
So,
lady's an accountant. She's not a psychologist. So I get to talk out of my ass here. But feel free to chime in here. The
mhm,
psychology of being loving your body and then say I'm really fit. So I have a level of confidence that I had enough agency to put, take action and achieve results versus the person who hasn't actually developed that level of confidence, they're inherently not going to gravitate towards treating themselves to a nice wardrobe or even to get out of the bed in the morning and to feel inclined to put on nice clothes. I think there's a not accidental parallel of people who aren't in a body composition that they themselves are proud of and it relating to their wardrobe style too. Do you think, I mean, there's no question there, but feel free to chime in on any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree, like, I do agree with you, like, a lot of people that are a little bigger, it's hard to dress well because they are limited too, um, and, like, that's, like, that's, like, that's, like, a whole different thing too in terms of, like, I doubt those people are even thinking about, "Wow, my style's shit." I'm sure it's more like fighting the day to day of like, I don't feel good in my own skin because I am overweight, you know? I feel like that's the thought. They're not even thinking about how they're dressing.
Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm so fascinated at what incites behavioral change. It's so
Mhm,
overwhelming. If I were just getting started on a journey of just, we'll call it the aesthetic journey, dressing sharper,
mhm.
cleaning up your nutrition, going to the gym, there's so much to fucking do. Where do I start? And I'm of the mindset that the the quicker you can get into this, the better, and the easier you can make it for the better. I love the blanket statement: drink a gallon of water a day, because just about anybody can do that. Everybody has access to water in the modern world, and you can develop that confidence that you can set a goal and complete it. Is there a hierarchy in your mind of, you said the nutrition, clean that up, but I look to you for fashion advice, Hunter, not nutrition advice, goddammit. I like the idea that we can give these young men looking to improve their lives some kind of like fashion advice too. Like, I know it's fucking hard, dude, but get the basics. Look like a king the way that you dress. Do you think that that then could inspire some kind of motivation to change their fitness and nutrition too?
Yeah, I mean, just imagine when you feel good in your clothes, you're like, just imagine if I was a few pounds lighter. Like, I could wear that suit, or if you wanna wear a suit, or I I don't know, I feel like I'm stuck on the nutrition right now because my head started spiraling in terms of like a lot of people say that it's like really hard to like even get started. And you mentioned like where do I start? And you mentioned also drinking a gallon of water is easy, right? I know a lot of people a lot of people fight the battle of, well, healthy foods are expensive. I've heard that a million times from my wife, people that mention that. But it's not true. It's just I personally feel like it's a little bit of an excuse, because you can g you can go and get things that are you can get fruits and vegetables for under $5, and those pack of Oreos are probably, what, $5, you know? It's just substituting things. Sorry, that's where I was just spiraling at. Just to give, like just to go back to the nutrition part. But, um, but yeah, I feel like most guys would be inspired. Say they get the basics down like you mentioned, and they feel good in that sense. I feel like they might be some people would find it motivating to, like, let's take it up a notch and, like, let's lose some weight. So, I know some guys that have gone through that and have experienced that. Um, so I would say that that might kickstart something, you know?
You probably have a lot of experience trying to package the sort of video and seeing a response to the difference between you talking about the basics versus you talking about like this fancy new suit that's flashy that you're on a red carpet event for. There's a different kind of audience that gets attracted to that. The problem that I see, and there's like almost a one-to-one parallel between the nutrition world, we'll call it the fitness and nutrition space, and the fashion world, especially in the men's arena, to things where it's an accessibility issue. If I am the health conscious guru who's only slurping down $25 Air One shakes, they don't have that where you are. Do you know what Air One is though? In California, it started.
Oh,
Has that crossed your radar?
no. No,
It's just
never.
a bougie ass grocery store, Whole Foods on steroids, where they have somewhat uh, affordable products there if like you're kind of skimming the bottom of the barrel, like the stuff on the floor, but everything is 2x, 3x the price of what it would normally be at Whole Foods. But I think people see that as like a barrier for entry. If I want to be healthy, then I must be drinking the Kylie Jenner peanut butter shake at Air One and just hemorrhaging my bank account. Same with the fashion world, man. I hate that guys can get discouraged not even having put their foot in the door because they see accounts that are flexing their $3,000 Gucci belts.
Yeah, and that just sucks because, like, you don't have to wear designer to, like, feel good or look good. I think designer and I think designer stuff is shit. I feel like it's trendy too, so, I own some designer stuff, but it's very muted. Like, it's very, like, toned down. Like, I have a Dior wallet, but it's black, and it has, like, a black imprint on it. Um but I do agree with you. You can look good and not spend a lot of money. I mean, like I mentioned, like you could like I've gone to Goodwill. I've bought a blazer. I've gotten it tailored and it looks great. And you know how much I got that blazer for? Like $5, you know? Are you still there?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep. I think it froze a little.
I'm going to show you mine if you show me yours. Fashion X.
Can you hear me now?
I love, yeah, I can hear you. I think the most obvious discrepancy with men and their fashion sense is their age as it relates to how they are dressing. And I try not to judge, but I do judge in silence. And when I see an older man dressed like a child, I get that ick feeling. Is there any like really just hard and fast Hunter feels super judgy for no reason guttural reactions out there in the fashion world for you that you want to share with us?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's social media though, in general, when you're just scrolling and you see someone wear something, you're like, what the fuck is that? And then you notice it, like, popped off on social, and you're like, "Well, of course it did, because it's, like, rage bait, right?" So, I can't really think of, like, a specific outfit or someone that's wearing something. Like, that pisses me off, though, like what you mentioned, when there is someone older and they're, like, dressing like a child, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like but it's hard to, like, think if they're actually serious, right?
I think the consensus that I've learned from you is we can arrive at a feeling of intuition through experimentation. It doesn't seem like we're really born with a style because
Mhm.
we were wearing fig leaves around our groin thousands of years ago. I like this takeaway that I think we both arrived at that there is a the discovery element includes the ownership, like educating yourself a little bit on a style. I think that's a nice sure way of if there's maybe you're flirting with some kind of style and you're feeling called to it, but there isn't that locked in feeling that you described the first time that you put on a suit and you're like, fuck yeah, this is Hunter. This is my look. I feel super confident in that. For the kings out there, like I think there is something there to the education. There's so many YouTube tutorials. There's so many great accounts like yourself who document over the years people's journeys and their own discoveries. I like that. I get a lot of inspiration from that. There are so many guys out there overwhelmed with options. How can they finally this year lock into a style that is theirs?
I would say you know what? Honestly, the path that I went down is fi find people on social media with the same things that you like and follow them, because my biggest inspiration when I first started all of this was I only followed people that I had something like a similar I only followed people that, one, inspired me with their fashion that I wanted to wear, or they had a same taste where maybe they were wearing something that I had in my own wardrobe, but it was just styled completely differently. Like, I remember I only followed those types of people because that's kind of what I wanted to fall into. Um, so that's what I would do. I would use social media as a tool, use Pinterest as a tool, and even like screenshot the outfits. Go back and look at them, try them on at home, make sure, and just like sit in it and look at yourself in a mirror and be like, "Do I feel good in this?" And like ask yourself that question. If it's no, fucking take it off and try on the next outfit, you know?
Hunter, I love it. Thank you very much, dude.